stuck here. The cops won't bother me. Oh man, this is it, guys. This is the end of the vstrom for me. I am about to go and deliver it to its new owner. It's a little bit, this is the last ride. This is the last time I'm gonna ride this bike, and this bike has been great to me. It's been a fantastic bike. So I am going to take it to Annapolis, where it's going to be living in its new home. I feel very sad about this particular bike, and I kind of wanted to do a last ride on it. So this last ride, by the way, it's freezing here in the DC area. Absolutely freezing and windy. And this bike feels just so comfortable to ride. I am really gonna miss this thing. 63,000 miles. So I kept it for 4 years. For me, that's a very long time. And I bought it with like 9,000 miles. So, you know, I always buy used stuff. You never know. Like I didn't realize that I would like this vstrom as much as I did. And the reason I'm selling it is no other reason than me wanting to try different things. You know, variety is the spice of life, they say. vstrom is going to be going to a good home, so that makes me feel good, because the new owner, Barnabas, he's going to be riding it to Mexico, and he's one of these guys that rides every day. You know, he's got that passion for riding that is very important to motorcyclists. And when I met him, I went, oh man, this is a great guy. And I wouldn't sell it to somebody that's a douche nozzle. Just so you guys know, I want my bike, especially the ones I really like, to go to great people. You know, I've bought and sold like GSX-R 600s, 1000s, R1s, and the type of rider that gets it is usually like a douche nozzle. Oftentimes it's like young guys that get it, but I find that the vstrom guys, they're rational, they're considerate sort of riders. So I really think this thing is going to get a great life. And you know, that's just how it goes. You know, you get bikes, you sell them. You know, honestly, I broke up with my girlfriend, and I don't feel as sad breaking up with my girlfriend as I do selling this bike. I really almost am teary-eyed about selling this bike. I never thought that would be the case. Yeah, I've come to this weird crossroads that, you know, I've been looking at bikes to kind of fulfill the role of this bike, but I can't really find anything I'm interested. There's all sorts of bikes. The closest thing to the vstrom is the NC700X. That engine is not as cool as this, but I don't think you're gonna get a very cool engine other than a V-twin. V-twins are notoriously fun to ride, and I've enjoyed them, but they've never been my favorite until the vstrom. The vstrom has really been the bike that redefined V-twins. And I have owned a few V-twins, and I still own another V-twin, which is a Honda Africa Twin. It's a 750cc V-twin, and from 1995. And honestly, I didn't particularly like the engine. I know it's a very robust and reliable engine. God damn, it's windy and cold. It's a very robust engine, but Jesus, it was heavy. It was torquey, but the V-twin in the vstrom 650 is the greatest V-twin I've ever ridden. I think I became attached to this bike because of the riding that I did. You know, I did a lot of cross-country riding. It's the first bike that I took cross-country, and I spent months riding, so it became a bike that you depended on. You know, it's the type of bike that you spent a lot of time riding. So I mean, think about that. You spend so much time on it, sitting on it. Your body is like just embracing that bike all the time. And with previous bikes I've had, you know, I don't think I could trust a lot of bikes to go cross country, but this bike, even with 63,000 miles, I could trust it to go cross country without any issues. And it's such a good bike. It's so like maintenance free. Like every time I got up in the morning at my campsite, I could always trust that this bike would start. You know, I've had like little issues here and there, like the battery dying, but that has nothing to do with the bike. It's just having a bike that you can depend on to go on trips is extremely great. I don't think I could depend on a KTM or a BMW as much I would trust this thing. This thing is just so good. When you have a bike that's dependable, I mean, just depending on it. Imagine riding cross country, riding across the world, and having a bike that's questionable, like you don't know if it's gonna start. I think that's what I like about this bike. It just starts, you know, it just works. Everything just works on it. It just needs regular maintenance. But it's not one of these bikes that requires a lot of work. It just doesn't require a lot from you. And man, you know, the vstrom 650 is actually more popular in Europe and South America than it is in the United States. Because the United States, people have a lot more money, so they tend to go towards the more high-end sort of bikes. But in South America, Europe, goddamn, those fuckers, they ride the living shit out of the V-Stroms, and they ride off-road. There's a guy named Casemiro ADV on Instagram and Facebook. The guy rides like crazy, jumps the bike. I mean, I followed him on his adventure of South America, and I was extremely amazed that you can ride like that off-road. But you know, that's the thing. I don't find myself riding off-road on this bike because I'm not that good off-road. And the V-Strom is a heavy bike for off-road. Goddamn, if you have those skills, I can see why people wouldn't mind. But for me, man, a lighter bike off-road is so much better because I am kind of a small guy. You know, I'm 5'9", I weigh 160 pounds, so I don't want to be riding off-road because I know what it's like to pick up a heavy bike. Yeah, found the place that I'm dropping it off. And this is the place. This is his bike. This is the guy Barnabas's bike right over here. Put the bike right next to his. That's it. Goodbye, vstrom. Kind of stuck here. The cops won't bother me.